Hey Dolphins fans, we have a lot to discuss in this video, and most notably the most explosive news that has caught everyone by surprise and is making all the headlines. But before we dive in, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with the latest Miami Dolphins news. Today, we're talking about something that's on everyone's minds after Sunday's game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, a situation that goes beyond football and touches on some really important issues. So what happened? Head coach Mike McDaniel opened up during his press conference and didn't hold back. He got pretty emotional talking about the incident that occurred on the way to Hard Rock Stadium. You've probably heard the details. Tyreek Hill, our star wide receiver, and veteran defensive end Calais Campbell were pulled over by Miami-Dade police for what the Dolphins described as a minor traffic violation. It was one of those situations where emotions were running high, especially with the racial dynamics that inevitably play a role in moments like this. McDaniel said something that really stuck with me. It's been hard for me not to get more upset the more I think about it. And you can see where he's coming from. He's the head coach. These are his players, his guys, and for them to go through something like this, it really hits home. Tyreek Hill and Calais Campbell are both black men, and though McDaniel is biracial, he's talked about feeling like he can't fully understand what they've been through. He said it's the unknown that really weighs on him, the idea that no matter how much empathy he tries to have, he can't truly understand what it's like to be in their shoes. It's a heavy one, Dolphins fans. McDaniel also mentioned how it's more important to listen than to try to fix everything with words. He admitted that sometimes words just don't mean and that's a powerful message. As a leader, he recognizes that his role isn't always to give advice, it's to listen, to be there for his players, and to understand their pain, even if he can't fully relate. Now, let's talk about the incident itself. Miami-Dade police released a statement saying they have launched an internal investigation, and one of the officers involved has been placed on administrative leave. This isn't just a Dolphins issue, it's part of a larger national conversation about policing and race. Miami-Dade County Mayor Daniela Levine Cava even weighed in, saying the investigation will answer some of the questions we all have, but that this situation is just another piece of a much larger puzzle that our country has been trying to solve for a long time. So what does this mean for the team? Well, McDaniel made it clear that this isn't something you just brush off. He said he's proud of how his players are handling the situation and that they've shown real solidarity. He stressed that even in adversity, his players understand the responsibility they have, both as teammates and as public figures. It's not just about what happens on the field, it's about how they conduct themselves off the field, especially in moments like this. McDaniel made that clear, saying, "I'm very proud of teammates being teammates and very proud of our guys understanding the civic responsibility of the platform and intending to do right by it. What's important now is to let the investigation play out." McDaniel emphasized that we need to wait for all the facts before rushing to judgment, and I think that's something we can all agree on. There's no doubt this was an upsetting situation for everyone involved, and it's clear it took an emotional toll on the team. But even with that, the Dolphins are showing that they're more than just athletes, they're role models, and they're handling this with grace. So, Dolphins fans, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this situation? Do you think the team is handling this the right way? And how do you feel about Coach McDaniel's approach to the whole thing? Leave your comments below, I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on this. So, let's rewind to Sunday. The game is tied at 17, the clock is running down, and all eyes are on McDaniel and the offense. With so much firepower in the Dolphins' passing game, you'd think they'd try to score a touchdown, right? But instead, McDaniel played smart and trusted Sanders. That decision may have surprised some people, especially since Sanders missed a 42-yard field goal earlier in the game. But despite that mistake, McDaniel's faith never wavered. He put the ball at Sanders' feet, and the rest is history. Sanders drilled a 52-yard walk-off field goal, marking the longest game-winning kick of his career. Now, that's a huge moment. But what makes Sanders truly special is how consistently he performs in clutch situations. With this kick, he became the active leader in consecutive kicks made in the last 2 minutes of games, moving ahead of Dustin Hopkins with an impressive streak of 11 straight kicks. Think about that, 11 kicks, all in nail-biting, crunch-time moments, and Sanders has delivered every single time. This isn't the first time Sanders has come up big for the Dolphins. Let's take a trip down memory lane. Last season, remember the game against the Dallas Cowboys? Sanders hit 5 field goals that day, including 3 from over 50 yards out. But the real dagger came with his final kick, a 29-yarder as time expired to give Miami a thrilling 20-19 win at home. He was the hero of the day, plain and simple. And then there's the 2022 season finale against the New York Jets. Miami's playoff hopes were hanging in the balance. The offense struggled, but Sanders was money. He scored 9 of Miami's 11 points, including a 50-yard field goal with just 18 seconds left to break a 6-6 tie and push the Dolphins to a crucial victory. That win sent Miami to the playoffs, and Sanders was the difference maker. It's no wonder McDaniel didn't hesitate to rely on him again this past Sunday. After the game, McDaniel was quick to point out those key moments in Cowboys and Jets games that solidified his confidence in Sanders. There's been several games that he's made multiple kicks, McDaniel said. He knows that in the moment of truth, Sanders can be trusted to stay composed and execute. That's a coach who truly believes in his guy, no matter what. Now, let's talk stats because they really tell the story of just how clutch Sanders has been. His current streak of 11 consecutive kicks made in the final 2 minutes of a game, which spans from 2019 to 2024, puts him in elite company. For a little context, former Dolphins kicker Olindo Mayer once had a streak of 9 straight kicks in the same time frame. The all-time record? That belongs to Ryan Longwell, who made 17 consecutive kicks between 1999 and 2006. But that's not all. Check out this incredible comparison. Justin Tucker, arguably one of the greatest kickers of all time, had a streak of 16 straight kicks in the final 2 minutes from 2015 to 2022. And let's not forget about the GOAT of clutch kicking, Adam Vinatieri. His streak ran for an entire decade, from 2007 to 2017, and over his 24-year career, Vinatieri was the king of game winners, hitting 35 out of 41 in the last minute of the fourth quarter or overtime. That's a career accuracy of 85.4% in the most critical moments. Sanders, on the other hand, can boast about something even Vinatieri can't, a perfect record in the last minute of the fourth quarter or overtime. That's right, Sanders is 7 for 7 when the game's in its final minute, and that's no small feat. While he may have a long way to go to match Vinatieri's 29 career game-winning field goals in the last minute, Sanders is already building a legacy as one of the most reliable kickers in high-pressure moments. So, Dolphins fans, what do you think? How confident are you in Jason Sanders when the game's on the line? And before you go, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more Dolphins content. And as always, fins up!